But anyway, it's just, I was up a long time in regards to yesterday, and I should have been able to sleep, but apparently not. Anyway, my fourth dose of the day of diflucan, which is antifungals, is, I should take them as well. Anyway, let's get to the topic. So, the best mobile of the Roman pagan year of 2019, which is closing to the end. Of course, this has nothing to do with the biblical calendar, because the new year actually starts in the spring, not in the winter, in regards of the pagan new year of Janus, the false god, which look in one direction and the other direction and so forward. It's pagan bullshit, people. The new year is not the new year. You have been fooled, like on so many other levels, by Satan, because you don't care anymore. Anyway, apparently people just don't care about the truth anymore. Every Protestant knew who the Antichrist was in the past. Apparently no one knows who the Antichrist is. It's like, over there, maybe there, over there, whatever, It's the office of the papacy. The office and the seat of the papacy. All the Protestants knew this in the past because they protested this system. Anyway, you got to wake up a little, people. If you don't care about the truth, Satan will take the truth, okay? And he has pretty much taken the truth from so many people, including myself, trying to figure out what is actually going on. But anyway, so 3 main features that a mobile has to have: a jack stick, that's a must; changeable battery, that's a must; and the last thing, what was that? An SD card. Yeah, that's true. SD card. You have to have an SD card. If you don't have those 3 things in the mobile, you can just put it on the trash, pretty much. That's 3 main features that a mobile has to have, and the LG 20 is the last flagship that has that. So in 2009, in regards to the Roman pagan calendar of the Julian Gregorian Popish bullshit calendar of sun worship, it's still the LG V20 that wins the race in front of its competitors. Isn't it interesting? And 3-year-old phone, pretty much. I actually think it's older than 3 years. Might actually be 3 years and some months, but around 3 years, since it was, and it's still the best mobile out there. Of course, that's, I don't have a big problem with that in some sense. Just, I think it's, maybe I do actually. You have, I still would lower it on a, in regards to 10 stars and all that. I would still, set it as a 2 or 3 in regards to the expectation that I would like from a mobile. There are issues, absolutely, and but it's still the best mobile out there. Just, you have the 3 main features, and but it could have been, the things could have been a lot better. For example, having administrator, rights from the beginning, that you could just unlock the phone like this, so you could actually do what you want with the phone without actually needing to go out and talk to other people that have tried to figure out how to break this security and all that bullshit that they put in, so you can't do what you want with your phone and need to, try to jump around the bush. And so I don't know if that's the right saying, but that you're using a lot of time on doing things. It's just, it gets tedious, Life is short enough. We don't need to sit there and make it more difficult for the user. We want to make it as easy for the user as possible. But apparently, this crazy world have a way of wasting our time again and again and again. So anyway, if you want a great phone in regards to 2019, I don't see any phone coming up in regards to the Roman calendar. We are in the last month, which is actually in regards of the 10th month, in regards of December. It means 10. You have, let's see, September, this says September is 7, October is 8, November is 9, and December is 10 in regards of Latin numbers. So anyway, it's bullshit. It's just bullshit, all of it. The new year is in the spring, and Christmas is a pagan tradition. In Denmark we call it Yule, and Yule goes back to Jølner, and Jølner goes back to Odin. Another thing in regards of paganism. Of course, Christmas overall goes back to the Roman Catholic Church in regards of the abomination that they do on that, on that night, where you can see the Antichrist in the television. He's shown in the television around the world doing his abominations. Why would any Protestants be, wanting to see that, filthiness? Anyway, in any case, it's just interesting. You hear all the bullshit about, where there's too much trash and too much this and too much that. And then the people that actually wants to have a mobile phone that can last them for years and have removable batteries and, standard features that would be, that is in regards to sanity. We'll just drop that. Not a single mobile, pretty much, not a single flagship. This is the last flagship, the V20, the LG V20, I never thought I would have bought an LG phone, But, that was the last, flagship with a battery before Insanity. Of course, Insanity is on so many levels in our days. So, I should take my Diflucan, and nail the fungus. It's a big problem in the world, fungus. Of course, we call it a lot of other things like cancer and all that. But anyway, because they have a way of mistreating the patients and misdiagnosing and misdiagnosing and then mistreating them and pretty much murdering people, Fungus is a big problem in our world, and it can do a lot of havoc to the bodies of man. But, it's big business, millions and billions of, Anyway, don't tell anyone that we're actually shooting fungus poison into test animals to make dementia and diabetes and cancer. Now, let's not tell the people about that because we don't know the cause, right? Anyway, this world is just so wicked. It's full of bullshit, pretty much. And I guess it's because the people don't really care about the truth anymore, that we are in the situation that we are. It's sad, very sad. Talking about the environment and all that and this and that, and then making phones where you can't change the battery, it's just utter hypocrisy, It's just incredible. It's just incredible. By the way, this is how these things looks, And normally in regards to the medical mafia and all that, but they don't like to actually give these things out, it seems, because these are antifungals. They don't have that many remedies against antifungals, actually. In regards of antibiotics, which you probably know, antibiotics actually means against life. And antibiotics are from mold. Penicillin? Penicillin comes from the mold, Penicillium or something like that. I might be wrong in regards to the spelling and all that. It's mold poison. And they take it, they sort it out from the mold, and then they put it in the pill, concentrate it into a pill, and there you go. Have some mold poison. Of course, then you have a greater chance of actually getting cancer and all that. But anyway, I'll get into other issues, right? It's a bullshit world. It's absolutely, and it's utter criminal, and it's utter wicked, and Satan is the ruler, It's incredible how people, you would think that people would be, good people, like at least, have a standard for not bullshitting people and murdering them in the millions and making them suffer and all that. But apparently, that's, people have apparently have no problem with that. As long as they get a paycheck, and some mammon, some blood money, apparently no problem, Just go along, to get along, to not lose your license of being a doctor, being one of these, anyway. Get a free vaccine. So what is in the vaccine, doctor? Yeah, you can get it for free. It's just not one vaccine, 2 vaccines, 3 vaccines. Hey, have 4. Why not 10 vaccines, right? It's free. Well, might be free. Well, of course, someone is paying and all that. Well, hey, wait, before you actually, inject me with that bullshit, could you show me what is actually in it? I would like to see what is in it. Anyway, but you can get those, right? There's no question to ask there. But ask in regards of antifungals. Whoa. You get into some heated battle there in regards of because fungus is the golden egg of this system that they don't want you to know about. It's just incredible. Anyway, getting a little off topic here. But anyway, if you're having health issues, you might look into fungi and see if there might be a thing in regards to that. And again, get a lot of symptoms in regards to fungi. It's called mycology in regards of, doctor and all that. And you have medical mycology that is primary in regards of fungi that can make issues for you and all that. Why did I put the thing here? But anyway, mobiles, there hasn't, 3 years, and there hasn't really come anything around that, where did I put, there we go. There's still 1 pill in it. It's really, again, it's prescription, so it's hard to, I really had my struggles to get this from the white coat butcher, or one of them, You can get it in Ukraine. It's called, it's diflucan. It's called I can't remember. There's another name for diflucan as well. But it's one of the few antifungal drugs there's natural antifungals as well. So I've tried a lot of things, but the problem is fungi is a monster. It's pretty much a demonic monster, It just have the most horrendous weapons to attack your body and to, go around your system, destroying your immune system and make havoc in the body overall. It's just incredible, and it can make so many weird symptoms that the doctors don't understand, apparently, and don't, really, anyway. Yeah, so... Any case, they're just so focused on the bacteria, right? Hey, give some more fungus poison to the people, which is called mycotoxins. And by the way, if you're drinking beer and all that, alcohol and all that, that might be a good idea to maybe stop that or at least lessen it a good amount. But if you have a fungi problem, I would just stop it all overall. Throw the alcohol in the bin. And be careful of food in regards to sugar and all that. That feeds the fungi. Fungi love sugar. There's sugar everywhere, right? And we pretty much have, destroying our food sources as well. And it's just a bullshit world, pretty much. Incredible. Oh, don't eat meat, right? Like, oh, that's bad. Oh, the red meat and all that. Bad, they say. Well, maybe you're mistreating the animals and feeding them bullshit and all that, if there's any problem in regards to the meat. And I'm apparently also, drooling, I guess, having the head down and all that, whatever. Anyway, that's just how it is, I guess. I'm a drooling boy, apparently, it seems. Anyway, could be worse, I could go around and murdering people, right? Oh, well, so, yeah. It's incredible, and we get sick, and we don't read the Bible anymore, and just be careful of Paul if you're going to read the Bible, because Paul leads people into lawlessness. But anyway, getting back to the phone thing and all that, people like, we have so much trash and this and that, and we are focusing on, sorting out the trash and all that, and then, you have the sales of mobile phones, which you can't change battery. So you use a mobile phone and then, you probably just throw it away and buy a new phone, right? Because, that phone that you bought a year ago is now old, right? It's just old after a year, maybe after half a year. It's old. Oh, I need a new one, right? Anyway, So I guess it's, even 3 years after, I guess maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I'm myself into a little in regards, because like, I don't understand, like 3 years, 3 years with this mobile, and there's nothing that has come out that actually can compare. I guess maybe it's as long as I can get the LG 20 phone, of course, get a replacement. I guess it's not that bad actually. I just thought that, I think it's just total hypocrisy, talking about, oh, too much trash and all that. And well, there's something called designed absolution, and the designed absolution they do on purpose in regards to designing, so it's it ends up breaking, like for example the light bulbs. For example, a light bulb like that, they made it so the light bulb could only last for 1,000 hours. They designed it on purpose to only last 1,000 hours. Now, why would they do that? Well, that's a good question. It's wasting our time, right? More production, and that's the idea, so they can sell more of these, and then of course you need to use time going down and buying them and changing the light bulb and all that, and that might be small things and all that, but overall it's a huge waste of time. When you could have made the light bulb to last for a lifetime, right? But no. Then of course we get more trash, right? And then people come, oh no, now it's the people's fault that we now have so much trash. Oh really? I thought it was the companies that, in regards of absolute, what is it called, designed absolution, that might be something to do with it. Maybe we should, force them to actually make the products to last, instead of actually, where they try to design them to just, that you want something new and something new and something new and something new again and again and again, and on purpose making things slower and sucking your battery dry. It's just incredible what this world is. It's bullshit, and taking all the, taking the power from the people. They have this despotic way of doing their things. If I update the Android at some point when it comes out with the next update, it's interesting that there apparently will be an update for the LG 20, but of course they always used to say it, and then there goes a long time before it actually goes out and all that. But anyway, at least that has been the experience in regards of the LG 20. Not that it's a big problem overall, as long as it works and all that. But the thing is, the next update in line, which is in regards of Android 9, I can't remember what it's called, but you can't record calls anymore. If you want to record calls, that's just too bad. I don't know if you can actually, break it open in regards of jailbreaking it and all that. I don't know if it's possible to do that and then still record with a version of 9. It might, but the things take a long time. If you need to, it should just works out the box, and it should give the user, the ability to do what he wants with the mobile. It's funny, right? The companies have a way of tracking us, right? Actually, the world, the state and all that, all this bullshit system have a way of pretty much sniffing our ass and looking into our poop, pretty much, They want to know everything and anything in regards of you people and all that. But in regards to the people, no. We are not allowed to actually have, things that we... we're not allowed to have recording, for example. They're allowed to record us, but we're not allowed to record them, because, of course, we would then have evidence against them, and they don't like that and all that, It's just bullshit. It's bullshit. And, of course, they don't like us recording them either, but it's okay for them to record us, right? Yeah. A lot of people get into issues, right, with if they record them. But the other way around, that's just okay, right? Anyway, now that we have this 5G thing coming out, it seems to, I saw the thing, I think it was in China. It's just incredible that they're like, it's disgusting, it's just, they know everything about you. All the information, the camera picks up on your face, and, anyway. And of course, they're pushing us to get into in regards of digital money. Now, why would the world be pushing in that direction and, trying to actually make it seem good as well? The the people that are in regards to the truth movement and so forward. Oh, we can go around the money system and all that. Well, why would why would they actually be pushing in regards to digital money? Well, maybe in regards to the mark of the beast, in regards to the number 666. If you can make it digital, can you then control it? Yeah, you can. You can actually find out what the persons are using and all that. You have all the data and the information and all that, They can gather it all. And it's like, you're thinking that, they wouldn't do that. And they're doing it. Look at some of the programs where they're showing that they collected information from the people and then they can make these things and show this and that. And the same thing in regards of the what is it called? In regards of the power, in regards of electricity and all that, And then people will say, no, this and that. Well, you can already find companies that have these programs that can actually go in and fix in regards of what things you probably have in your household. It's actually not that difficult, If you can actually see how much is this in use and you can see it, close down and up and go down and all that, you could just have a program with that data and begin to find out what is actually in your household, what is probably in your household. So anyway, if you turn off, if you have a 40 watts light bulb, which I guess, many of people have the diodes and all that, or 60 watts or whatever, if you turn that off, well, of course, the thing would register it, it would get 60 watts down. So if you have a program and you can see like it's going 60 up and 60 down and 40 and all that, over time it should be able to figure out what you actually have in your household, or at least really, in regards of how much is these usually, and calculate and figure out what it is. And of course, there's always already programs when people are saying, oh, that's conspiracy and all that. Well, there's already companies talking about this. When I did the research and all that, they're already fixing, they already had the ability to do a lot of these things and was promoting this to these companies so they can, so they can sell data again. And it's just bullshit, all of it. Anyway, we're heading for poop doom, which is in regards to the Antichrist of the number 666. It's incredible. And no one seems to care or know or yeah. I guess I got a little off topic here. Actually, a lot of I guess I'm always going off topic. That's nice, I'm on the 4th day in regards of the diflucan at the moment, trying this antifungal protocol. So, of course, they don't like giving you antifungals because that's the golden egg. Anyway, they apparently rather want to kill you, or, have, suck you dry of resources and then kill you, make you suffer before you die, right, And then even come out as the good guys, It's incredible. It's just the demonic. It's just, of course the medical, I wouldn't mind in regards to a medical thing and all that, in regards of if they actually did, if they didn't go around and murder people, how many dies of cancer, as they call it? Well, could it have anything to do with fungi? Huh? Fungi poison that, in regards of, apparently not, because we don't inject, test animals to get, cancer. Or diabetes. Well, we lost it. Why does people get diabetes? Why are the cells being destroyed in regards of the beta cells? How is it called? I can't even remember if I got that right. I think it's the beta cells anyway. So many things in my head. Any case. So if they destroy it by fixing fungus poison into the animals, well, what might be the reason for people getting diabetes? Diabetes, I can't even say it, Well, it might be the fungus poison. Anyway, and we have it, in regards to our food sources. Yeah, in regards to the Danish Food Administration and all that, they actually say, if you ingest mycotoxins, which is fungus poison, over time and all that, you can actually get cancer and so forward. Now, they just mentioned cancer, which is, and then they say so forward, other things and all that. So, what other things could it be that you could get if you're ingesting mycotoxins? Okay, well, but anyway, one of them apparently is cancer. They just write it out, And you can find many of these links here and there and all that. It's not really, but they don't want to talk about it apparently. Tired of the bullshit and tired of the, I guess, incompetence, and this world is just bullshit. It's just bullshit. Yeah, how hard can it be to make a phone with a battery and a jack stick and an SD card? Oh yeah, that's one of the things that is very smart. Not actually having a possibility for an SD card. Well, then they can push in regards to the storage in the mobile phone, and when it empty out, oh, you need a new phone, right? Because it's full, right? So pushing for that you need to get a new phone, right? If you had an SD micro storage, well, you could just upgrade the SD card, right, and have more storage, and thereby make the mobile last longer, and upgrade the card as it goes, as they come out with bigger cards, and that will of course do so you can use the mobile for a longer time without actually feeling that you need to get something new, right? Anyway, right. Anyway, I would actually maybe be nice with two, I wouldn't mind two SD cards, or to actually be. But no. Apparently we can't have these things. And of course, Android makes these, stupidities like not being allowed to use the SD card for things and all that. You need to use the internal space and bullshit this and that. It's insanity, just so you can fill it up, fill the memory up, and then you're thinking, oh my, I need a new mobile. It's all full, It's just. And some of the things that I saw in regards of some of the new Android systems, how much it fills in regards of storage as well. I was like, I remember, it was like 20 gigabytes or something like that, or maybe even more in regards to one of these new Android phones. That was just insane. I'm like, what is wrong with you? How can you fill it so much, Same thing in regards of the systems on the computers, like jump from, being like 600, 700 megabytes on the computer, and then just jumping to incredible amount of gigabytes. And it's like, I don't really care about all the graphic bullshit and all that, and and the spying and all that. I just want the thing to actually work, right? If I could, I would just still be running Windows 2000. It was rock solid and it worked, without any problem. And of course, it worked. It was sanity. And then, the next version, and they just became more and more insane, So, and more spying on the people. Anyway, I guess the Bible, has to, is going to be fulfilled, of course, so that's not the surprise. If they can control all the money, if we get on a digital money thing and all that, well, if they can they can pretty much control it all, and they can just turn it on, turn it off, if they don't like you and all that, if they have if they control it, they can turn it off. Oh, too bad, you can't buy anything anymore. Oh, and they can see what you are buying. They can they can take all the information, and that seems to be the thing in regards of this wicked system, this satanic system, that they want to know everything and anything about you guys, and they want to collect all the information, and they're pretty much, doing it more and more, yeah, it's incredible. Anyway, I would suggest actually reading if you haven't done it, read the book of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and figure out who Jesus Christ is. And the second thing, of course, is to figure out who the Antichrist is then. And because that's the two most important things in this world, to know who Jesus Christ really is, because there's a lot of bullshit versions out there. Of course, the two most prevalent of these bullshit versions is the Roman Catholic cookie Jesus of the Catholics, of Romanism, or the Antichrist, and then, of course, the only prophet version of the Mohammedans. It's like two sides of the same coin. It's both bullshit. And that's around 3 billion people or something like that believes these insanity. So those are the two most prevalent versions out there. Then, of course, you need to figure out who actually is the Antichrist, right? And if you figure out that something that every Protestant knew, but apparently no one teaches, or very few teaches this thing, you can go to school for 10 or 20 years and never actually know who the Antichrist is, right? I can teach my children in 1 week if I ever had a child anyway. If I ever have a child, I could teach the child in 1 week more than I learned in 10 years in the school in regards of who Jesus Christ is, or Yeshua, and Yeshua is the Hebrew name of Jesus. Anyway, and in regards to the Antichrist, they would have more value than all the rest of the bullshit in regards of a 10-year, thing in regards of the school system run by the state. And who controls the state? Anyway. It's utter bullshit. Utter bullshit. And who is the Jesuits? Anyone knows who the Jesuit is nowadays? No one knows who the Jesuits is. The Jesuits are the special soldiers of the Antichrist. That would be in regards of the man of the number 666, the Roman Emperor, Caesar, the Pontifex Maximus, who is the high pagan priest of paganism. Yes, it is the great stinking poop, okay? That unholy faker in Rome. So anyway, now you know, I've told you, and you should go out and do your own research on these things. It's just, it's a pretty nutty world we live in, that's for sure. And a lot of things are going on, and it's going quick. It's going very quick. And, we're murdering people. We're, making people suffer. And there's wars going around. It's just an insane system, pretty much. And it's like we are being pushed all these bullshit thing on us. Like, for example, take your mailbox, right? All the things that you want in the mailbox, they don't want to send you to you, They forced, in regards of digital thing and all that, they just forced, in Denmark anyway, they forced all the people to have it in regards of a digital mailbox. Wait, hey, I have a mailbox. Yeah, but we'll not send your mails to the mailbox anymore. Well, who decided that? I didn't say that I was, that I wanted we're going to force it onto you. Oh, really? So you're not going to... one thing is to make you choose if you want that possibility. It's a nice possibility. If you want your digital mail on, in the mailbox, on digital thing and all that, great. If you want that, have the option. Don't force it on people. Now, of course, all the things that you don't want in your mailbox, well, apparently it just tends to just grow over, just fills up, right? All these advertisings and all that just fills up the box. And if you want to not have these, you actually need to go, I don't know if you actually need that more, but you need to go down to the post office and, write a thing and all that, and, or, put a declaration, hey, I want this sticker so I don't get, advertising and all that, right? And, that took a long time, last time I did it, years ago. I don't know if they have made it easier, but, just the whole thing fills up and you just have a mountain of advertising, right? And then, of course, the first time that I did it, it didn't work. So I needed to do it again. You couldn't just get a sticker doing it, right? So you see, all the things that you don't want in your mailbox, they will force on you, and all the things that that you want, they just take away. Yeah, okay. It's the same thing with the email, right? In regards to the internet, you will get overfloated with spam and bullshit, right? So it's wasting the time of the people from so many angles. It's just incredible. If you go into a website to buy something and all that, and they will just begin to send you mails, right? Instead of actually making the user, if I want mails, check this, they always, mostly it's like ticked already, right? Why not make the user, tick it, or just send it, without any. It's just bullshit, you know. If I want anything from you guys, you know, besides the thing in regards to what I paid and all that, you know, let me myself make the decision if I want that. No, we'll just send all this bullshit. Anyway, maybe I'm just an old growly man. I don't know. That's just tired of it all. I don't know. Anyway. I think there's so much bullshit in this world, and of course it keeps the people occupied, and they'd have, you know, of course the Roman theater and the Roman circus, the Roman Colosseum, which is in regards of the square box sitting in nearly every room in many people's home in regards to the West. And they're looking at this like sport is like the 22 people running around after a ball. It's just the whole world of their world. It's like the Roman circus, the Roman Colosseum. It's the Roman what was it? The Roman that's one word. Roman arena. Yeah, the Roman arena, Roman circus, Roman Colosseum, pretty much. It's keeping the people occupied. It's keeping you people occupied. So you don't go around, so again, wasting the time. And of course, the Roman theater in regards of the pagan bullshit and, things that is promoted to desensitize you to sin and just normalize it. And apparently it's now okay to as a man, to take your weenie, to take your sausage and stuff it up in another man's trash can, pretty much, It's just disgusting. You have to be kidding me. Oh, that's the normal. Oh, really? Seems pretty disgusting to me. But anyway, now we're promoting all this homosexual bullshit, And even in regards to children, it's just incredible. Animals, whatever, everything apparently goes. It's an abomination. It's disgusting. No one should promote that in our streets. And yet they are being promoted like, oh, we need to have a parade to show how proud we are, because it's called pride, right? How proud we are of our sins. And we should be ashamed. And of course, a lot of pagan gods are promoted as well, like Pan, for example. And then they complain in regards of sexual sicknesses and all that. What can we do in regards of all these transmitted diseases and all that, in regards of sexual transmitted diseases, STD or something like that. Well, hey, I have an idea. Maybe do like what God said, not doing these things, keeping to your partner, and having the standard man and a woman and all that, like God created it from the beginning around 6,000 years. And of course that's another topic, because most of you people have been filled with evolution. Evolution is a pagan satanic doctrine, because when you get it in your blood from your childhood, and everybody seems to promoting it, you just believe, oh, it must be true. I guess it must be like the Mohammedans growing up as Mohammedans. Now, of course, if you end up being a heretic, you could be killed in regards of leaving the pagan faith of Muhammad, who worships a God who has no son, and says that Yeshua did not die on the tree for the sins of the world, and thereby he wasn't resurrected. And even the Jews know how stupid that is in regards of not, because they know they killed Yeshua, but they think it was a righteous thing. They think it was a just thing because he went around and made himself into God, That's blasphemy, right? So let's, execute him on the tree. Anyway, but no, the Mohammedans know better, because Muhammad came nearly 600 years after the event, so he, of course, never observed or heard Jesus or ate with Jesus or, and so forward. But apparently Muhammad, 600 years after the events, he apparently knows better. Yeah, let's not trust the first, the sources that we have from the first century, who witnessed and saw the things and all that, and testified about the things and the history that actually happened afterwards, and the prophecies of Yeshua and so forward. Let's just trash that and just go with a false prophet called Muhammad. Yeah, but anyway, is it 1.8 billion Mohammedans? And I was told, oh, we're actually more than 1.8 billion now. It's not a number game, people. It's not a number game, and as far as I can see in regards of Google and all that, it's around 1.8 billion last time I've searched it out. So anyway, whatever the case. I don't care. It's not a number game. Like 8 people survived the worldwide flood. Now we don't have a number of the people that was there at that point, but that could have been a lot. People were a lot closer to the original. Apparently, they could live over 900 years, which actually makes sense if you actually begin to look into the the science of it. They were closer to the original DNA code, so there hadn't been that many mutations. I don't know. The environment was different than in our days. We have like 60, I think, to 100 mutations from every single generation. So every single generation have more mutations. Now, even with these mutations and all that, you just have to be aware in regards of what we're actually feeding into our body have a huge amount in regards of how we actually, if we're eating sugar and alcohol, drinking alcohol and all that, and smoking and all that, getting a lot of mycotoxins, fungus poisons and all that, we might get a fungus infection. And when we get the fungus infection and go to our doctor, he pretty much can't help you because they won't actually understand that it's a fungus infection. So they will give you more fungus poison in regards to antibiotic and pretty much make you suffer and kill you off as time goes. And they will shake off your, resources at the same time. And yeah, because that's just the norm in our world, apparently, Just money, blood money, and all that. It's just bullshit. Yeah, you would expect them to maybe talk about real food and so forward and actually changing your diet and all that. I haven't heard any of the people or any of these white coat Latin spouters talk about changing my diet. Any case. Of course, diet couldn't have anything to do with issues and drinking a huge amount of alcohol made by a fungus, by the way. Can't remember the name of the fungi that makes the alcohol and all that. But anyway, of course, we're destroying our food sources on so many levels, like, the milk. Oh, the milk. Milk has become, it's just evil. Milk is just the evil food, apparently. Well, if it's evil, maybe it's because you're doing all these stupidities to it. You're feeding the cows the unnatural foods, you're fixing antibiotics and hormones in them, you're putting them in a really close space and all that so the sicknesses can go around. You're pushing also the cows to the limit in regards of the production of milk, quantity over quality, right? And then afterwards, you pretty much give the milk a Hitler treatment and warm it up. And we wonder why milk would, maybe if there's anything wrong with the milk in our days in regards of pasteurization, as we call it, when you kill the living Jew milk and, give it a good holocaust and just kill off the good Jews and, and have Hitler milk afterwards. Well, I guess, if there's anything wrong with that milk, well, maybe you should look at how you actually produce the milk, And you're not allowed to have raw milk either. Oh yeah, because the government have your back, right? The government and the health organization, so-called health organization, they have your back, Yeah, they have your back. You're not allowed to get any raw milk, Raw milk, oh, no. That's, we have to have rules against raw milk because you are not allowed to choose what you want to put in this body. But hey, have some soda pops, right? Lots of sugar. Have some soda pops. And alcohol. Just feed yourself with sugar and alcohol because you might then get a fungal infection and you might end up getting a lot of things. And then you go to the doctor and hey, they have things they could prescribe to you. Fungus poison and other weird things. And yeah, it's just a filthy world and the demonic system. And I don't know why we would accept this, as the norm, We think like, oh, doctors, right? Oh, these doctors like, oh, authority and so forward, and you go to the doctor naively because you think he has your best interest while he's working for the medical industry. So, if you go to the doctor, you better have your brain with you and not naively just go along to get along with your white coat. You really have to be careful because he might actually murder you, Might actually, do a lot of harm to you, and you might actually be getting to the grave a lot quicker than you. Anyway, so I guess you get the point. Anyway, I just think there's so much bullshit in this world. And in regards to the mobile and all that, when they're talking about, we have too much trash and this and that. And by the way, in regards to the global warming thing, goes back to Rome again. You can just see the waves from Rome. It's in regards to the Antichrist of the number 666. It's bullshit. The world is full of bullshit. We are now rounding around. The world is rounding around the Antichrist. You can actually just follow the so-called Protestants in our days. The Protestants are now heading back under the wings of the Antichrist. The Roman Antichrist of the number 666. Prophesied in the Bible, the biblical, historical, prophetic Antichrist. Every single Protestant in the past knew it. That we have piles of books about this, which have been, hidden away from us. If you go back and look, in regards to the Protestants, they all knew it. It was like second nature to them. There's just, they all knew who the Antichrist was. Now, how is it that you can ask people in our days and they just don't know, or they don't want to talk about it? Actually, we have these people standing behind the podium singing love songs to the Antichrist, leading people back to the man of sin, it's just incredible. Anyway, you really have to be careful out there. It's a world of bullshit, pretty much. Have you ever heard the saying, all roads leads to Rome? Maybe there's something about that, Proud as a pope. Ever heard that? Latin and lies, at least we have it in Denmark in regards, we're mixing Latin and lies together. Why would we mix Latin and lies together? Well, Latin is the language of Rome, right? In regards to Romanism. You have Roman Catholics, which actually in regards to Catholics means universal, or universalist, I guess Roman Universalist. Anyway, Catholicism, universalism. So every time you see the word Catholicism, you can pretty much put in universalism. Anyway, people believe Sunday is the last day of the week. It's bullshit. The Sunday is the first day of the week. And of course, that's, you have the Sunday bullshit as well. People going to church on Sunday and all that. Was that what Yeshua did? Did Yeshua go to the synagogue on Sunday? Do you see that any place in regards to the Bible? Well, I do see him go to the synagogue on the Sabbath, which is in regards to Saturday, but not Sunday. So anyway, I'm not saying that you couldn't, do it all 7 days and all that of the week. But the thing is, Satan has a way of flipping things around, and Sunday is the opposite of the 7th day. Even if it looks like it's just, just beside, each other and all that. If you just take 1 week, you can see its opposition. It's turning things upside down, which Satan is really good at. So anyway, we're keeping all these pagan traditions as well. Christmas, Easter, the New Year of Janus, and all the rest of the bullshit, and teaching the children about these lies of Satan Claus and egg-laying rabbits and tooth fairy and gnomes and so forward. It seems like, the churches that actually should, stand against it seems to actually be the promoters of these things. It's like, oh, that's a pagan tradition. How? Let's get that into the church. And I was like, hey, the Bible talks about, Passover and 7 days unleavened bread. Oh, you were a Judaizer. We don't want that into the church. Yeah. And I was just, you will lose salvation and all that. All this bullshit. Oh, you're a Judaizer. Well, better a Judaizer than a Romanizer, right? Anyway, it's like, oh, you're Judaizer. It's like I have a negative thing and all that. Well, I don't think it's negative. It's a positive thing. Because what was Jesus? He was a Jew, right? So he was breaking all the rules of the man-made laws of the Pharisees and the leaders of the Jews and all that. They saw him as a destroyer of Judaism. But yeah. So, any case, it's just these traditions of vanity that we have, and people just apparently don't care. So it's very sad, very sad. You can even Christians, they don't want to, profess Christians and all that, talking about the Antichrist and all that. They don't want to talk to you. They was, they don't know and they don't want to know. They just, it's like the ecumenical satanic movement, again, rounding around the Antichrist. So again, if you want to know where the Antichrist is, just pretty much follow the world, I guess. But if you look at the Protestants and where they're heading at, going back to Romanism, well, I guess you can just follow along with them and see, oh, that's the Antichrist, Again, the world is rounding around the Antichrist of the number 666. And the Jesuits, of course, no one knows about the Jesuits either. The Jesuits are the special soldiers of this wicked system of the Antichrist. And they're controlled by the so-called Black Pope, the general. And if you go read the Jesuit oath, you can see how wicked this system is. You just look, Google Jesuit oath and all that. And Denmark is actually also mentioned in that. But anyway, I guess I'm way off topic. But yeah, let's see if we can open that up. Can we actually, where am I? There we go. If you just search Jesuit oath, Jesuit, and of course they also rewrite history. Rome has have a way of hiding the truth in regards of history, and they are lying and deceiving, and you have so many promoting falsehood and twisting of not only history but also of the Bible. Yeshua warned us about wolves in sheep clothing. And so maybe he warned us about wolves sheep clothing because we should be aware of wolves in sheep clothing. Yeah, get the idea. He didn't warn us about stinking wolves like Muhammad. That is pretty clear that they are a false prophet. But he warned us about wolves in sheep clothing that looks like the real thing, that looks like a sheep, but it's actually a wolf. Anyway, here we have the Jesuit Extreme Oath of the Induction. If you go read that, there's many different pages in regards to this oath out there. If you go and read that, you can see how wicked this this thing is. And of course, then you have the Knight of Malta and the Knight of Columbus, and you have so many different groups working for the Antichrist, and they work in darkness. So anyway, and yeah, so. Here we go. My son, heretofore you have been taught to act the dissembler among Roman Catholics, to be a Roman Catholic, and to be a spy even among your own brethren, to believe no man, to trust no man among the reformers, that would be the Protestants. By the way, the Reformation pretty much failed and became a protest because they found out that they couldn't reform this wicked, diabolical system of Roman Catholicism, and they freed the Bible again so people could read it in their own word. Why would any Christian institution not have the people be be allowed to read the word in their own language? Why would that be a problem for any Christian institution? It's just bullshit, And this system has persecuted Christians. It had burned them and burned their documents in regards to biblical. They just wanted to. Anyway, so it's a criminal system. It's the most wicked, despotic system of wickedness. Anyway, Catholic and Catholic to be a Roman Catholic and to be a spy even among your own brethren, and to believe no man, to trust no man among the reformers, to be a reformer, among the Huguenots to be a Huguenot, among the Calvinists to be a Calvinist, among other Protestants generally to be a Protestant. And what is a Protestant? A Protestant is someone that protest against what? Against the Antichrist and all his stupidity, man-made laws. Martin Luther burned the bull of the Pope in the fire with the canon laws of the Roman Catholic insanity asylum. Anyway, all these man-made laws and all that. Now, Martin Luther did have some issues for sure, but that, people began, now he was not the only one that was there, and people began to turn the boat around, reading the scriptures, finding out, this is actually not found in the Bible, and this is wrong, and so forward. And we have had 500 years to actually read the Bible, and we haven't come further in Denmark and many of the Western nations. It's actually pretty bad. We're not even keeping the celebrations found in the Bible, the festivals of Jehovah. We are actually keeping all these pagan traditions, and we know it's pagan. And yet some people say, it's not pagan, all that. Just go look it up in a lexicon and don't be deceived by these liars and deceivers. Satan is out there trying to disturb you from the truth. Find out which is actually found in the Bible. You don't find these traditions in the Bible. Easter is not found in the Bible. It's Passover. That was a great battle in regards of Asia Minor, which is nowadays Turkey, part of nowadays Turkey, and Rome in regards to these things. And Asia Minor rejected Paul in the first century as well. So I do wonder why they would reject, the great apostle the great apostle Paul. Maybe because there was some problems with the Roman Pharisee of Paul. Anyway, any case, that's another. So just be aware, people are getting led into lawlessness in regards of Paul. So, we don't learn Judaizing and all that, saying that, you're a Judaizer and this is that. Give me a break. Jesus was a Jew and he kept these festivals of Jehovah. He kept the Sabbath. He kept, he didn't keep all these pagan traditions. And you're telling me I will lose salvation if we try to actually keep the festivals of Jehovah instead of these pagan traditions, promoting all this bullshit and lies and deceptions and teaching our children this? Give me a break. What kind of insanity is that? Anyway, among the reformers, to be a reformer, among the Huguenots, which to be a Huguenot, I think that it was actually the Huguenots that also the Roman Catholic Church ended up destroying a huge amount of those. I think, was that in France? I think something like that. But they have a way of also rewriting history and trying to, what shall we say, paint it over with their own bullshit. So the truth is not actually, in regards to the Waldensians and other Christian groups down the, but I can't remember, there's a lot of things going on and a lot of things in my head. But anyway, to be a Huguenot among the Huguenots to be a Huguenot, among the Calvinists to be a Calvinist, among other Protestants generally to be a Protestant, and obtaining their confidence to seek even to preach from their pulpits and to denounce with all the vehemence in your nature our holy religion. Yeah, because everything is holy in regards to the Roman mystery religion. Now, paganism, apparently, they just put holy my this and holy this, just a bullshit system. Anyway, with some, with a sheep coat over it in some sense, So, what is it called? The sheep, anyway, I guess, so with all the vehemence in your nature, our holy religion and the Pope, I don't usually call him the Pope, and in regards to holy religion, I would say unholy. It's, just holy my this and holy my, just put an U and an N before it and you get it, And even to descend so low as to become a Jew among the Jews, that you might be enabled to gather together all information for the benefit of your order as a faithful soldier of the Antichrist. Well, the Pope. It's just incredible. And it continues with these disgusting things. In regards to the dissembler, is pretty much a hypocrite. Someone that deceives, let's see if we can find one of these in the book here. A dissembler, a person who professes beliefs and opinions that he or she does not hold in order to conceal his or her feelings or motives. A dissimulator, hypocrite, phony, pretender, beguiler, cheater, deceiver, slickster, trickster, and so forward. Anyway, of course, you can go into and look in the older dictionaries in regards of the Jesuits and see what they write about that. And of course, a lot of things have been removed in our times about the Jesuits because that's anyway. So they go on in regards of butchering the so-called heretics and all that, and there's no salvation without the blood of. It's just incredible. You have been taught your duty as a spy to gather all statistic, facts, and information in your power from every source, to ingratiate yourself into confidence of the family circle of Protestants and heretics of every class and character, as well as that of the merchant, the banker, the lawyer among the schools and universities, in parliaments and legislatures, and the judiciaries, or something like that, and council of states, and to be all things to all men for the Antichrist's sake, whose servant we are unto death. And just continue. In regard to the army of Loyola, that's it, Ignatius Loyola. And as I understand it, they actually have sainted this guy. You can pray to him and blah. It's just a diabolical system, Anyway, here we go. Without the shedding of blood, no man can be saved. It's actually, for none can command here who has not consecrated his labor with the blood of the heretic. And of course, the Protestant would be considered heretics. For without the shedding of blood, no man can be saved. Therefore, to fit yourself for your work and make your own salvation sure, you will, in addition to your former oath of obedience. Didn't Jesus say we shouldn't take any oath? Oh yeah. Anyway. Of obedience to your order and allegiance to the Antichrist, repeat after me, and so forward, and bullshit. And just be aware that they are still out there and working, and as I understand it, they are actually working the ecumenical movement at the moment. They're very effective, as you see, because no one actually knows who the Antichrist is anymore. Very sad. Most people don't know about who the Antichrist is. We have been totally blinded because we didn't defend truth, and I guess the school systems or something like that have been teaching the children wrong or something. We pretty much. It's incredible that we have forgotten so many things that the past Protestant knew, like by default. Or is it called the default? I'm not sure if in regards to default, if that's the right word in regards to Engel. They knew it. They all knew it. Default. See here. By default, lost due to no, that might not be the right word. At default, in regards to computer, right? In regards to assume a particular value when none other is specified. It's like turning to a default value, right? So they just knew it. That was the idea anyway. But they all knew it. They were all in agreement. The Protestant belief, they all knew it. They might have, they had different variations and so forward, and that's still in regards of today, but they all knew who the Antichrist was. They were all in agreement in regards of where to point in regards to the Antichrist. Reading the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation, knowing history and so forward, and prophecy and all that, they all knew it. And yet, today, we do not know. Of course, I guess it will be, It's just out there. It's just out there. And, but again, it just seems like no one cares. They just want to live their life and all that, and no one speaks up. And, yeah. Oh yeah, in regards of evolution, and we are closing to the end here. In regards of evolution, it goes far further back than Darwin. It goes back to India, as far as I can see. And, so it's long before Darwin that this, this idea of evolution was, came about. It's a pagan satanic idea. If you're an atheist, a believing atheist, if you're an believing atheist, believing that there's no God, and you're an evolutionist, you're pretty much going with pagan doctrines. You call it science, but it's not science, it's bullshit. And it's mixed into real science. They mix the pagan bullshit into the science. So you really have to discern when you're reading these science magazines and all that. There can be some pretty good things in it and some wrong conclusions and all that. But you have to be able to discern what is, when they begin, millions and billions of years. Yeah, that's bullshit. And, the goat became hungry, so it went into the water and became a dolphin. Oh, give me a break, bullshit.